This approach to statistics, it wouldn't have passed muster under either Margaret Thatcher or John Major, would it?
Well, I have no idea about the detail of the statistics which have just been announced, but that's not the issue, is it? The issue is how do you deal with the honeypot problem of this country and Europe attracting ever larger numbers of people who live in circumstances which are totally different to ours. And you only have to look at the mobile phone, which is available across the world, to realize that we are a honeypot. And the problem is going to get worse because not only are more and more people going to see just how much higher a living standard we have, but global warming is going to disrupt coastal communities across the world who are going to have to move. And if they're going to move once, they might as well try to move to us. So we have a nightmarish situation in political terms. It's not just this country. You look at what's happening in the right wing in Europe or the right wing in America. This is a world problem. And I'm afraid that the only solutions that I can see that are long-term and make sense is to recognize that we have to have a European border control in which we play our full part. And we have to have deals with the countries from which many of the immigrants come, a sort of Marshall aid program, which we help them to build their economies so that less people want to actually leave those deprived areas. This is a long-term solution, it's an imaginative solution, and it has, of course, the precedent that the Americans did something very much along these lines after the Second World War with their Marshall Aid program.
You say that the UK is a honeypot, and of course people want to come here for lots of different reasons. But what I can't quite get is when you've got countries across Europe, all of which have fantastic economies, fantastic support for various different people and individuals, that people still want to come to the United Kingdom, and we seem not to have a level playing field. Is it because other countries across Europe are harsher with the asylum claims and we are seemingly not, that more people want to come here?
No, I think that, frankly, you are missing the motivations. The number of people coming across the Channel is a tiny proportion of the people who have entered Europe illegally. And why do they want to come here? Well, many reasons. Some will have relatives. They like the English language. They've seen connections between this country and the old Commonwealth, whatever it may be. There are many reasons, but we are in exactly the same position as a honeypot as the rest of Europe. But when you come to the total figures, well, then you have bigger problems because a very substantial number of the legal immigrants, for example, are the families of people who come here because we have the best higher education system in the universities in Europe. So if they want to get the benefit of that sort of high quality education, Britain is the obvious place to come. Secondly, we have vacancies. You take the health service, huge numbers of vacancies there, and people have with the skills that they've been trained to excel in their rather poor countries can see much better paid jobs if they come to this country. So, you know, the awfulness of this debate about immigration is the simplicity and the extremism with which it's debated. This is a tragedy of human and world proportions, and it will not be addressed by simply sort of making slogans about getting control of our borders and things like that. It's a much bigger issue. And as I say, you just look at the health service, social provision in this country, and ask yourself, how is it that we manage to survive without immigration?
Well, certainly it's a debate that's going to continue. Former Deputy Prime Minister Lord Heseltine, thank you so much for